Aston Villa are in the playoff finals, and the fans want to get their hands on a ticket. Here's a look at the latest ticket information and how you can get your hand on a ticket for Wembley. When is the match? The match takes place on Saturday the 26th of May 2018 and will kick off at 5 p.m. What is the ticket office number? Telephone 0333-323-1874. Tel International 0044-121-327-5353. Fax 0121-328-5575. How many tickets do Villa have? The club have been allocated 38,144 in the west end of the stadium. Things you missed, reactions, talking points, scenes. When do the tickets go on sale? Season ticket holders and Claret members and club members can start to buy them from Wednesday the 16th of May, online. The graphic from the club below shows who can buy the tickets and when. There are also a number of pricing categories with concessions in each band. The club are urging people to buy their tickets online due to the huge demand. Full ticket details can be found here. More Aston Villa news. The ratings. Aston Villa are going to Wembley. It was tense, bordering on unbearable at times, as this semi-final second leg finished all square with both sides failing to find a breakthrough. Hearts were in their mouths when Sam Johnstone handled outside the area and Stuart Downing rattled the crossbar for Middlesbrough with the resulting free kick in the 88th minute. But Villa covered every blade of grass to keep the slate clean, and in the end the 1-0 advantage from Saturday's opening encounter at the Riverside was enough to seal the tie. Fans flooded onto the pitch at the final whistle and flares were set off in the center circle as all thoughts of a dreadful 90 minutes vanished into thin air. There were chances for Lewis Grabban and Jack Grealish, but Darren Randolph saved both. Other than that, it was all about digging deep, grinding out the results and keeping Boro at bay, not that they offered much of a threat anyway. Greg Evans was at Villa Park. This is how he rated the players. Aston Villa vs Middlesbrough recap. Villa are going to Wembley. Johnstone, 6, had a quiet game with little to do until the final minutes. Raced out of goal, handballed outside the area to stop Adama hitting into an empty net, but was luckily only booked. Watched Downing's free kick rattle the bar from the resulting free kick. 6.5 slotted in well at right back and then later on down the left. Went close with an early pile driver. Villa still haven't won this season when he has started, but who cares, as a draw was good enough tonight. Chester, 9, a monster performance from the player of the season. Went close to opening the scoring but then crucially stopped Assombalonga after he rounded a group of his teammates. Also made a crucial interception early in the second half when Villa were up against it and won so many important headers and tackles. Terry, 8, got stuck and put his body on the line, and covered Hutton at times when he needed to. Maintained the standards he had set all season. Hutton, 7, wasn't quite as dominant as in the first leg but still had a decent game and kept Adama quiet. Deserves a new contract for his fine recent form. Snodgrass, 7, set the standard early on with a crunching tackle and looked as desperate as any player out there to win. Didn't create much but certainly played his part as he flew in 2 tackles and did let a single challenge pass him by. Hourihane, 7, almost got a breakthrough early on when he charged down Randolph's clearance, but it wasn't to be. Worked hard, covered every blade of grass and helped keep the ball ticking over. Jedinak, 8.5, just solid, isn't he? Crunched in 2 tackles, 1 headers and marshaled the midfield. His performance was so dominant once again, and his single goal in the 180 minutes won the tie for Villa. Adomah, 7 came to life after the break and looked the real threat after a poor first half. Set up Graben on the hour but he couldn't convert and then continued to cause havoc down the left. Grealish, 8.5 another impressive performance from the middleman who hardly gave the ball away all night. Played sublime passes to his teammates, carried the ball out of dangerous positions and won crucial fouls. Forced Randolph into a fine save after the break. Graben, 7 didn't have much service and hardly saw the ball in the first half. But he stuck at it, never stopped running and always gave Gibson something to think about. Finally got a chance on the hour but was denied by Randolph from 6 yards out, then forced the stopper into a decent stop from a long range. Subbed. Substitutes Kodjia for Graben, 78, 6.5 ran around in the latter stages and tried to create. Whelan, for Aurihane, 84, 7 passed the ball out of trouble and kept it tight late on. Bjarnason, for Adomah, 90, 7 helped see out the game. Not used Bun, Samba, Anoma, Bjarnason, Hogan. Opposition Varro, 4, 5, 1, Randolph, Schotten, Fabio, 82, Fry, Gibson, Friend, Clayton, Tror, Howson, Jesse, 72, Besic, Downing, Assombalonga, Bamford, 67, Subs, Demi, Fabio, Craney, Leadbitter, Harrison. Attendance, 40,505 Referee, Mike Dean. Who's next? Fulham at Wembley in the playoff final, May 26, 5 p.m. Bruce's say Steve Bruce breathed a sigh of relief after seeing off Middlesbrough in the playoff semi-final and then called on his troops to seal the deal at Wembley. Villa squeezed past Tony Pulis' side thanks a single goal in the first leg from Mile Jedinak, but the dogged, determined performance to keep a shutout at Villa Park in the 0-0 return clash was equally as important. Bruce held his heart as he walked into his post-match press conference and admitted that watching on from the sidelines was almost unbearable as Stuart Downing rattled the crossbar with a free kick late on. It was tense, nervy and at times, too much to handle, but Villa survived, much to the manager's delight, and are now desperate to win promotion. The longer it went on, and when it hit the crossbar, I thought, dear oh dear, you can't put me through that, he said. But what has got us through is our defense. Both games they've had only one shot on target and defensively we've been good all season. Fighting over Hutton. Both clubs had the opportunity to win promotion automatically but let it slip at various points in the season. Those most notable slip-ups were against QPR and Norwich when second place looked a possibility. Had Fulham beat Blues on the final day of the season they would already be a Premier League side, but they lost and are having to go through this route, too. As a one-off, it's a fantastic way to go up. Bruce said, I would still rather have been second and sitting on a beach right now. But if we do it, it's a great way to do it for everybody concerned. To win it, we will have to play very, very well because Fulham are a fantastic footballing side. We've beaten them, they've beaten us, so it's all to play for. Pulis admission. Tony Pulis has conceded that justice was done after Aston Villa dumped his Middlesbrough side out of the race for promotion. A first-leg goal from Mile Jedinak at the Riverside was enough to send Steve Bruce's Claret and Blues to Wembley following a stalemate second leg at Villa Park. And Pulis admits the two teams who will contest the final at Wembley a week on Saturday, Fulham and Aston Villa, are worthy finalists having finished third and fourth respectively. Pulis said, over the two games I think there's been periods where we've been on top and dominant, and in those periods we've not created the opportunities and the chances to win games. People will say over the two legs it's a set piece that's been the difference between us. It hurts me to say this because we've just lost, but the teams that finished third and fourth are the teams that go to Wembley, and over a season to 46 games it's justified. To play to Fulham and Aston Villa. It was a night of few chances, with both teams reluctant to show their hand until the clock ticked past 70 minutes. Boro's best opportunity came at the death as confusion in the Villa defence allowed Adama Traoré to lob an effort towards goal which Sam Johnston handled outside his area. The goalkeeper was booked by referee Mike Dean and Stuart Downing's resulting free kick slammed against the crossbar. Pulis, though, reckons Johnston should have been dismissed for his misdemeanor. "You write what you want to write," he said. "I think it's a disappointing decision from one of our top officials." Rest in peace. Former Aston Villa and Bolton defender J. Lloyd Samuel died in a car crash Tuesday morning, the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association announced. Samuel, aged 37, represented England at under-21 level before going on to play for Trinidad and Tobago's senior team. A statement on the TTFA's Facebook page read, "The Trinidad and Tobago Football Association and his former national team mates at this time extends deepest condolences to his family members both in the UK and here in Trinidad and Tobago. J. Lloyd Samuel dies. Reaction and tributes to the former Aston Villa defender." The statement adds, "We've received some terrible news that former national defender and ex-Aston Villa and Bolton Wanderers player J. Lloyd Samuel died in a car crash this morning in England." According to reports, J. Lloyd was returning home after dropping his kids off to school and collided with an oncoming vehicle. The Trinidad and Tobago Football Association and his former national teammates at this time extends deepest condolences to his family members both in the UK and here in Trinidad and Tobago. Samuel came through the ranks at Villa before later playing for Bolton and Cardiff City. He was 37 years old. Born in San Fernando, Trinidad and Tobago, Samuel attended St. Joseph's Academy, Blackheath through the 1990s, where he was a valuable member of the school football teams as well as the London schoolboys teams. He spent his youth football at Charlton Athletic before signing a professional contract with Villa. The fullback played for the Sunday League teams NRAB and West Ham United, from whom he was released on the same day as Paul Konchesky, Lee Bowyer, Bobby Zamora and Fitz Hall. Samuel's Villa debut came in September 1999. He played 169 times for Villa until he moved to Bolton in 2007. Former Aston Villa star J. Lloyd Samuel's touching final tweet after death, aged 37, he scores 2 goals for AVFC, before making 71 appearances for the Trotters. He would enjoy a brief loan spell at Cart before playing for Esteghlal, Pacian and Egerton between 2011 and 2017. Samuel was understood to be living in Cheshire, and we have contacted Cheshire Police for further details. Ticketing details. Aston Villa fans can now get an idea of just how much tickets for the playoff finals will cost. Fulham have released details of the ticket pricing for fans after they booked their place in the final with victory over Derby County. The Cottagers will be housed in the east end of Wembley Stadium, with Villa or Middlesbrough occupying the west side. The ticket bandings, below, are divided into 5 pricing sections. Each category has a concession rate for 17 to 21 years, over 65s, and juniors aged 16 and under. Fulham have also confirmed that there will be 38,144 tickets allocated to their fans. The match will be played on Saturday the 26th of May, kickoff 5 p.m. Fulham's tickets will be on sale from 10 a.m. on Wednesday the 16th of May. Villa's will be confirmed in due course. Call-up. Former Aston Villa midfielder Fabian Delph has been included in Gareth Southgate's England World Cup squad, reports The Mirror. Manchester City man Delph hasn't played under Southgate previously, and his last cap came in November 2015 under Roy Hodgson, a 2-0 defeat to Spain. Delph has filled the gap at left-back for Pep Guardiola this season after the lengthy injury to Benjamin Mendy, and has impressed in an unfamiliar position as City cruised to the Premier League title. It's believed the Yorkshireman will take the place of Jack Wilshere in Southgate's 23-man team. The Arsenal midfielder, whose history of injuries is well documented, has got himself fit and playing regularly for the Gunners this term. That, it seems, hasn't been enough to make the cut. Delph left Villa on bad terms, certainly in the eyes of the fans, at least back in the summer of 2015, having played a crucial role in keeping the club up under Tim Sherwood and leading them to the FA Cup final. 28-year-old scored 8 goals in over 130 appearances for Villa between 2009 and 2015. Former fellow villain Ashley Young is also expected to be called into the squad after a fine season at Manchester United.